Countdown. Now we're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody. I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker, and I am really excited to be talking to the Headstone Ballerina, Lady GraveDancer.
I heard you call me that the other day. I was like, that's a cool way of doing it.
So she has agreed to let me ask her a few questions, and we're just going to chat. This isn't really like a Barbara Walters, I'm not a Baba Wala kind of interviewer.
I'm not going to be crying by the end of the interview.
But first, thank you very much.
I'm super excited. I'm you know,
Thank you. Something is playing in the background. I apologize. I hope that wasn't sounding off.
I didn't hear anything, but you look completely confused for a second.
Well, you know that YouTube video, the commercial of the woman who's doing the poo-pourri commercial?
Oh, yes.
All of a sudden I hear a toilet flush and this chipper British woman talking about her poo doesn't stink.
I love those commercials, though.
I was being haunted by Ember. So, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I am doing well. Yeah. Yep.
Good.
My energy levels are about here, not up here right now, but it's a Monday, so.
Yeah, I was going to make myself a cup of coffee before this, but I thought probably not the best idea at 5 my time to have a cup of coffee right now. It'll be midnight and I'll be pinging off the walls.
Well, I got my tea.
Which brings me to a question that I actually don't have written down. I'm already going off book. What's your best time of day? When do you do your best work just in general?
When I feel the best is usually around 5:30 in the morning. But when I do my best work is 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Now that's interesting that you're 5:30. Do you know what time of day you were born?
Yes, my mother has told me, and hold on, I'm going to have to think for a minute because it's been a while since she told me. Oh my God, it was between 1 and 3. I don't remember.
In the afternoon or at night?
AM.
Because I have been told or read somewhere that we do our best work at the time we were born.
I can text her and she'll get back to us. Very random.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things. I am a very early morning person. I was born like before 6 a.m. in the morning. So, but generally this is my slump time, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
I'm ready for nap time.
Well, I'm usually going right now but I brought dinner home. Usually I would be cooking right now. But since I knew we were going to do this today, I brought dinner, so I'm not cooking. So I get my win when I get home because I have to. But I'm usually getting a slump around that time.
But you have how many jobs? You're a mom, you're a wife, you have a day job, you have your shop, you have your YouTube. I mean, that's 5 I can think of.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So here's my first question. What's the first thing you can remember about witches in general? Just like the first time the concept ever even popped up.
Well, that happened way later in life because I didn't realize that witches was what we were. You know, there wasn't that title on it. So, oh, geez. I'm thinking okay. That would be the first time I saw an old lady butt-ass naked. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. The visual is here. Here's the story. It's I've talked about this woman in some videos, and she came into our life. My age was between 9 and throughout to age 14 is when my mom was actually dating her son, and when she was intertwined in our life, she did very, very negative magic, which kind of took me on that path for a really long time. And the first time that she called herself a witch and I saw what she was doing, I'm like, oh, so that's what we are, you know, this is what this is. But it was the first time I saw an old lady naked outside. She just stripped that off. It wasn't pretty.
It'd probably be like me running around butt ass naked.
It was interesting to say, yeah. Ooh. But that one, I hadn't thought about that in ever. But that was the first time whenever it was like, oh, is this a thing? But still, I didn't know until way later on that that was something a lot of people frowned on.
Yeah. But now you also, I've listened to you talk a little bit about that you're in a mixed marriage, basically, in terms of religion.
Mm-hmm.
So did you have any, when you were growing up, did you have a religious background as well besides witchcraft?
No, we didn't. And we were so poor growing up that we did get food from churches, but we didn't attend them. And then there was some camps that we were sent to occasionally for a few days just for the fact that we got fed. But other than that, no.
Yeah. Now here's my next one. What do you think brought you to witchcraft as a real thing? As yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to commit to this. Yes, I'm going to walk this path. Was it just because you grew up in the faith, or?
It's because I was born into it. It's in, it's in my blood. It's in my soul. But I can answer that question still differently. Coming into the YouTube community between 8 and 10 years ago, I'm so horrible with time frames, y'all. Finding there's all these deities and different names for all these different types of workings and different types of witchery and all of that, it really made me want to pursue all different types of ways and study all different types of ways when I discovered all of these different. I mean, I just get so amazed with people like, oh my God, tell me about it. What? Can I find a book on that? What?
Now, do you have a name for what you do? I mean, would you say you're a conjure worker, you're a root worker, hoodoo, witch? Do you have a title that you use?
I just call myself a witch now. And probably about the last 10 years or so, that's all that I've titled myself as. I don't have a preference at all.
Yeah, because I went through a period of, well, I'm a witch, but I'm Wiccan. So I'm a Wiccan witch, or am I a witch that's Wiccan?
And see, when I first discovered all this on YouTube, for a second, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, so this is what we are. We're Wiccans. But studying it for even just a couple of weeks, I realized, no, that's not my path. That's not what I'm about. No judgment passed. I mean, everybody has to figure out who they are. But I did think that for a minute. I really did.
And there's so much stuff wrapped up around what Wicca is, isn't, and I won't get into that because it just annoys the snot out of me.
I got people that tell me that it looks like I practice hoodoo and I don't, and I got other people that tell me it looks like, all these different paths that I'm doing when I'm sharing things. So that's why I just stop at witch, because I just do what makes sense to me. And if I pull from this and make it mine, then it's just me. Yeah.
I have a friend who calls herself a cafeteria spiritualist.
Oh.
And she picks whatever works for her. So she's got a little Buddhism, there's a little touch of Christianity, there's a little pagan, and it works for her, and she blends it beautifully. But she's also super quiet. I don't think you'll ever see her on YouTube or anything like that, because she's gotten blasted for what she does. So, but she's very together. She's not cray-cray.
A little crazy is okay, though. Everything needs a little bit of craziness, a little chaos.
Yes. Well, she's an Aries, so she don't want her cray-cray out on the front porch.
Live in a house full of those. Okay.
Bless you. So what's your favorite form of divination? I mean, I know what mine is. I'm a tarot reader. That's what I do. But do you do divination, or do you not do it?
Absolutely. And it used to be more onto the side of the cards, because I come from a line of card readers that go back so far, and I still love Lenormand, and I just discovered Lenormand in the last 3 years, and a friend that was staying with us at the time, she introduced me to Lenormand, and it blew my mind. I loved it, and I do still play with it a lot, but the majority of the time, the divination that I do involves me and whoever's around me to communicate with me in a dark place. And that's it. No tools anymore, which is a growth. They say once you don't need tools, that's a growing point. but I still like to buy stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see back up here the white boxes right there.
I see those.
That's box 0 through 5. I've got 6, 7, no, 5, 6, 7. That's 0 through 4. There's 5 up there. I've got 3 more. They're full of nothing but my Oracle and Tarot and Lenormand decks.
Wow.
I have a problem.
Oh, you put Sunshine Morning Ray to shame. She's got to up her collection.
Well, I've been cataloging it so I can, because I'm going to start selling it off. I'm at 551 decks right now.
Wow. You need to let all your sisters and brothers know when you start selling so we can go on there and see what you're selling, because I'm sure you got decks that we probably can't even get our hands on anymore.
Well, the one that I have that I may actually be putting up for sale, and I don't want to start a stampede, is my Greenwood Tarot. So we'll see.
How long have you been collecting cards?
I started reading professionally in 85. I got my first deck in 83, 82. I still have that deck. So since then, I've just gradually, it's become an obsession.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have multiples of some decks, like the Gaian Tarot. I have maybe 8, 9 copies of it.
Oh.
Because I'm always worried. It's my primary reading deck. That's what's in here.
Okay.
And it's a deck that I work so well with. I'm like, oh my God, if I lose it, what will I do?
Don't want to run out of it.
Right. So, but those are definitely, I've got some that are going to be for sale. I've got a couple of the limited editions. Those are mine. But
yeah.
But nobody needs 9 copies of the same deck. They just don't.
Mm.
Ouch, that hurt.
I think that depends. I don't have 2 copies of any decks yet, but my collection is still small. So.
We can fix that.
I'm trying to. I mean, I order as often as I find something that interests me, but it kind of goes back to my grandmother saying that we don't read tarot cards. We read playing cards. What you're doing is not what we did.
I actually have here, I have a playing card oracle by Ana Cortez. It's really interesting artwork. I may have to send that to you because it's not something I can work with. I need the picture to key off of.
Yeah.
And there are days when I read for somebody, I pick up the deck and I'm like, I don't even start pulling cards and my mouth starts going blah at them. So, and we get dead people who come in and chat. That's always fun.
Yeah.
But now, do you do any mediumship? You said you do spirit work. I mean, but
yeah.
You feel like that's a mediumship? Do you intentionally talk to the dead?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. I didn't know it was going to come up on the screen. I do intentionally speak with passed on spirits, but I don't pass on spirits. That makes absolutely no sense. Spirits, but I don't seek them out like mediums do. It's something that, if they come through, then we're talking, or if I'm doing a cleanse and then, then we're talking, but it's not, I'm not going to walk up to someone and say, your aunt is here and here's the message. I don't.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that, like at the drop of a hat, like Teresa Caputo does, the Long Island medium.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but I don't have that ability.
Well, and it's tiring. It's very, and the people that don't want the message are pretty adamant that they did not want that message, and that, puts you off a little.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not about that life.
Now let's see. Oh, have you ever done a working that backfired on you, or no backfired? We won't caveat it. We'll just say backfired.
Not that I can recall. Backfire meaning like it came back to me.
It just didn't do what you wanted it to do, basically.
Oh, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Sure, of course. We've had things where I've had to continue to work or change the spell up because I didn't get exactly what I wanted. For instance, I didn't want to lose our old house in order to pursue getting a shop, but the type of workings that I did, The house wasn't in my name. I had 0 credit. So I would have never been able to get my own shop had we not lost our old house. You know, so those kind of workings didn't work exactly as I had planned, but in the end worked out.
Perfect. Yeah. So in the long run, it did what you needed it to do.
Yeah, but I had to come back from being in my pity party and fighting with my deity and start working, being more specific maybe.
Yeah, I've learned that it's not wise for me personally to say, I'd like, I need $5,000 cash for this project and get it as an inheritance. That kind of sucks.
Exactly.
So that really wasn't what I meant, universe.
I was thrown out there.
Now, here's a really important question. You're a Texas girl. You're from Texas, right?
Am I
okay. So here's the really important question. Red sauce or green sauce?
I'm a green sauce girl. Yeah.
I did that to somebody, and they were from, I don't know, Ohio or something. They just went, what?
I got green sauce in the refrigerator right now. We have sauce made at all times.
I was going to say pozole or menudo, but then I thought, no.
Pozole for me, menudo for my husband.
I'm a pozole girl. We've got a place here in town that only serves it 2 days a week. And one of those days is now my yoga day. So when my husband said, do you want to go to lunch? I said, hell yes, it's pozole day.
Let's go.
Because, man, I love that. Yeah. Okay, so silly question aside, is there an afterlife in your belief system?
Here? Or are you talking about like a heaven and hell kind of a thing?
Well, you said you talk to spirits, so obviously they go somewhere. Where do they? Is there a place they go for you? Like in Wicca, what my faith teaches is that we have the Summerland. That's just what we call it. I don't think there's a hell.
I see. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it as I don't want to make your video too long, but I believe that the spirits that are here is because they have something they haven't been able to do, or they weren't the best, so they can't be reincarnated yet. And I feel that we get reincarnated over and over again until we act right, get everything right. And then I do believe that there is a place that we go whenever we're not being reincarnated, and where we can choose if we want to come back, or if we want to come back as a spirit guide, what families we want to go into, depending on how well we were in previous lives. I don't think that there's a heaven or a hell, anything like that, which is real difficult whenever, like, your young kids, all their friends, like, oh, I'm going to meet mom, in heaven. And my kid is like, well, where are we going to meet at? But a lifetime of making them understand, if that's, we'll meet again. Because I do believe that we meet people over and over again because we have issues that we hadn't gotten done in other lives.
That's something that I have talked about, the whole twin flame, twin soul thing. And the reason we have that, somebody falls just head over heels for this person, and then, boom, reality happens, and they're on opposite sides of the fence screaming at one another, and then suddenly they find somebody else who's another. And I'm like, we've been through so many lives and had so many connections. You can't say that when I meet you, when we met at the Ren Fair, I thought, wow, she's cool. But we can't say that, okay, maybe we were brothers in a different life. Maybe you were my father. Maybe I was your mother. There's so many ways we could have connected. Yes. So I'm kind of a skeptic on the whole twin flame thing, because I think it's for me, and I'm a romance writer, so I love romance, but it's a way to give ourselves an excuse for not thinking rationally about a relationship.
I like that.
I think we recognize each other all the time, right? I mean, how many people have you met in your life that you're like, I really like you. There's no reason that I should like you.
Oh, yeah.
Without any, interaction.
You know, and the funny thing is in 2016, that happened a lot. So I feel that there's going to be a big shift in my world this year in 2017 because somewhat in 2015 as well, but 2016 was a lot of things happened. There was a lot of shifts going on with me. So I feel like 2017, I have something really big coming. Something that I'm going to be doing that's going to be major. So I'm looking for it. I'm open to it.
All right, bring it, universe.
Let it rain.
Deserted island time. You have time to grab 5 things. What are they? And these are witchy, crafty things. They're not
It's like my kids.
Yeah, right. Stop right there. I'm choosing the youngest, the oldest, the middle 2 can go.
Deserted island. Witchy items. Well, since I'm going to be bored, I'm going to take cards with me. That's for sure. Because you're going to be needing something to do. I would take, I wouldn't want to take selenite with me to a deserted island because it'll get wet and ruined. So I'd probably take some amethyst. I'm going to pick a crystal. Because I'm going to want to, because I'm constantly rubbing a crystal no matter where I'm at. I like to rub crystals. So I'm on an island, so I'll be able to find something to do me for herbs, so I won't grab any herbs. And I got sand here, so I won't need to take anything like salty with me. I guess I could take athame so I can fish. Well, I'm getting real technical now, right? I gotta eat. A witch has gotta eat, right? Yeah, I'll take an athame with me, cards, and a crystal. See, I don't really have anything that I have to have. But to keep myself busy, I would want to take my cards because I'd be bored. And I'd want to eat. And I just really enjoy having crystals around me. I've always been real connected with certain crystals. I'm always having them around me, so I can't do 5. If I'm running, then I'm probably not going to sit here and think, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need?
Right? Where's my go bag with my 5 items?
Those things are in my purse, so I'll just take those. Just grab my purse and go.
Yeah, I always have rocks, crystals. I've identified as a stone witch.
It's so nice. Yes.
Albuquerque, Mama's Minerals. Amazing shop. So, but, and I teach stone healing. I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should do some videos on that, but I digress. But I love stones. So, let's see. Oh, and here we're going into the herbs. What herbs are a must-have in your kitchen and your witchy room?
Kitchen and witchy room. Well, since I witch in my kitchen as well, it's going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's always rosemary. I always have rosemary is something I can go to for anything. I love working with mistletoe, but the thing about mistletoe is I find it hard to work with on the lighter type magics. So that's a hard, it's a hard one for me to make softer, if that's the right word for it. How many was I supposed to pick a certain number?
No, just.
Oh, okay. I thought you said a number, like how many you had to pick. So I'm going to go with rosemary. Because I also cook with it. I like it in my potatoes.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of rosemary. I'm like cinnamon, sage, and salt and pepper. Yes. I always forget about salt and pepper. I guess they're not herbs really, but for me.
And I keep a mason jar on my stove of salt and pepper mixed together already. And I bless all my seasonings before I even put them away. So when I refill my jars, I bless them before time. And that way, if I need them for something else, I just got to grab them. They're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's lovely to have preparation and do all your work. But when you need to get down to something, just work.
Mom's born at 12:07 midnight. 12:07 a.m. is when I was born.
So that does play right into your 1 a.m.s?
Because it's between 12:30 and 1:30. 12:30 is a good time for me because it's like it's quiet in the house and I'm not sleepy. Like I'll be sleepy at 7, but at 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm not sleepy.
Yeah, and I typically I can wake up early in the morning, but then I'm one of those people that I can go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's very annoying to those people who can't, and I'm good with that.
Maybe when the kids are all grown and I'm getting, because see, at 5:30 in the morning, I love it. I love the way the field is outside. It's so calming. But then I have to start waking up the kids and getting school going, getting the dogs going and all that. So I don't have the luxury of my morning, but one day I will. One day I will. So
Yeah. I've got a small window before the dogs start screaming about if they don't go out now, there's going to be a lot of mopping happening. So, so powdered or rolled incense, that is.
my favorite, powdered. More convenient, rolled, but favorite, powdered.
Yeah, yeah. Preaching to the choir, sister, because I'm the same way. I would rather have that little bit that I can poop.
Exactly.
And if it does it right, I can add a little more. I used to, don't do it anymore, but I used to make my own incense. So, and I was always doing powder, but I made very small batches because I guess a bit of an incense snob. After it's been dried for a really long time, and I use a fairly moist mix, I didn't get the same smell to it.
And I can't burn the loose at work, but I can burn the sticks at work.
Really? That's nice.
I have two bosses. I call them the little one and the big one because they're they're brothers, but the age difference is 10 years. And the older one loves all that, all the incense and things, and he tells me stories about things that his mother did when they were little, and like the story he tells me she was a part of a coven because of all the women that were there, and they would use their mind to bend things and just he tells me the stories. But then the younger one, he comes in, he's like, what is that smell? I'm like, well, your brother likes it. So I heard sticks. Yeah.
My husband's real sensitive to smell, so I've got a diffuser going right now. I'm like, but just straight incense. Like I burn the Song of India temple scent, which I love, and it's instant headache. I could burn it at 11 in the morning. He comes in at 7 at night,
and he knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do anything with gardenia, it gives my husband a headache no matter what time, and I love gardenia. I love it, and anything that has to do with it, it gives him a headache too, no matter what time.
Yeah.
I liked him one time, and I mixed it with some honeysuckle and some orange, and I was burning it, and he came in, he's like, you're burning it. I'm like, no, that's honeysuckle and orange. Like, no, my head's hurting. I was like,
yeah. I have a relative like that with eggplant. So. That's just weird. Not that we burn eggplant in our incense.
No.
That sounded weird.
Thinking about fried eggplant right now.
Now I've got just a few more questions. What do you do for self-care? What's the Lady Gravedancer's idea of a perfect spa day for you?
Like a witchy spa day?
Yeah, or even
I get asked a lot about what do I do to keep, because everything that I do should be completely draining me this way and that way, and just getting me, and I do get, oh, I see a kitty. I do get like that, but
yeah,
I know I have tricks that I do that boost my energy. I like to push out all the energy that's in me and bring in fresh, and I do that pretty regular. I mean, there's not months that go by that I don't do that because I can't. I have to get the funk off me. I feel a buildup. And I think anybody who does any kind of energy work will feel the buildup too. And I have to get rid of the buildup. So I do things like that. I'll do baths with crystals and salts and herbs. I do these things constantly, or else I'd be crazy. Jacket.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do. One thing that I do is I like to wash dishes by hand because we call her Stripper Kitty because that's her stripper pole.
She's pretty.
She's a haint and a half, man. She is just a haint. But what I do is I put all my negativity, all the gunk, all the just as you said, the residue into the stuff on the plates and in the glasses, and I wash and scrub and rinse and dry, and it's all down the drain.
I'm just pulling up the video to see if there's a comment, and that's a good. Oh, I'm going to turn the volume down. That's another way of doing it. Like the mopping of my house, I do that pretty regular. And I use different types of herbs, and there is a lot of comments, a lot of questions going on.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I can't see it. I apologize if you think we're ignoring you. I am, because I didn't know.
Yeah. I show how easy it is to make floor washes. You know, they can be just as complicated and as easy as you want, and they do amazing in cleaning out the energy of the house, because I don't think it just floats around. I think it settles, and I like to get rid of it.
Absolutely. One of the things I use my incense for is I smudge my house pretty regularly. Not so much anymore. I'm going to get some of that smudgeless or smokeless sage that Witchy Bear does.
Mm-hmm. And I use it in my office. I use it in my office. Yeah, I'm down to a little less than half of a bottle now.
I know, right? Witchy Bear, make some more. We're coming.
I could burn incense in the office, but the couple of times that I saged the office, people were swearing that we were smoking pot. And if I was smoking pot, then I wouldn't lie about it. But it's not legal here, so we don't do it.
Right.
I can't have them thinking we're in the office getting high all day.
I used to, when I was first starting out on my path, I would burn, and I would just burn a little bit I would light a whole freaking smudge stick, and wander around the house. Well, yeah, it absolutely has a pot smell to it.
After I sage my house and the exterior of my house, I usually use a whole sage stick, which is why I buy them in bulk. When I'm done, whatever's left, which is usually about that much, I put in the fire pit in my backyard and light the other end and let it continue just to go. I leave it out there and just let it finish burning up and cleansing out the yard and doing its thing.
And you've got a beautiful backyard. I've seen one of your videos where you show your backyard. It looks gorgeous. So
now it's asleep because it's cold, so it doesn't look gorgeous. And I'm out there, I'm like, where's all the color?
I'm a fall winter person. Sounds like you're more of a spring summer. Is that true?
I hate the heat, but spring and fall, I'm happy. And here every year we don't get these winters. And this year it got really cold and it took all my plants out. But last winter, it didn't take anything out. So it's like hit and miss here with the harsh winters.
Yeah. My best friend lives over in Hearst. So, I track the weather over there, just keep track with her. But I lived in Austin. I love that I found all these Texas witches after I left Austin.
There's a lot of us.
I'm like, what the hell? San Antonio? Oh yeah, right down from me. So, but okay, let's see. Name something that brings you joy.
Other than sex, just, this is something that I actually was talking to a couple of my friends with this morning, but I've been doing a lot of cleansings on people's homes and on their self, spiritual cleanses on them. And I have to say, I've been really, really getting into it the last few months. Every time I do it, I get kind of drained, but it makes me so happy because it's like this ability that I have that I'm able to do. And I don't charge for these things because I have a job. If I had my shop, then this would be things that I would charge for, but I don't. And this is what's been, other than sex and my children. Okay, those are the main things that made me happiest in my whole life. Not with my children. Hold on.
A little close.
Yeah, no. Let me make those into two separate sentences. My family, of course, makes me extremely happy, and then, but lately that's really been bringing me a lot of joy. So I really know that this is something I want to offer full time. I really, really
awesome. And that actually, I have to talk to you once we're done because I have a client in your area who needs a ties releasing. I think he still does. It's been a while since I've talked to him, but I may have to send him your way because I can't get there to do it physically, and it's not something I'm real happy about. I can do it this way, but I really would rather be there with the energy and be able to feel it more better.
The best way to do things like that. So I'd be happy to send them my way.
I will. I'll send him a note and see if he's still in need of it. It's been 2 years. Bad, Arwen.
Oh, I may not be hearing from them.
Okay, what's your favorite meal?
Sole. That's like, we have it all the time. I cook it all the time, and that's what I like to eat. But I have to, this is the thing. If I don't have fresh cilantro for my pozole, then I don't want it. And then I would probably pick like spaghetti.
My husband's one of those people that can't eat cilantro. It tastes soapy to him.
You know, Raven's husband is the same way. Ravenflower, they were here, and we were making fajitas, and I was making something that needed cilantro, and it's the same for him. I was like, I feel bad for y'all because it's so good. It's so refreshing.
It's I like it, but it's just one of those things that he has to remember to ask. Please leave the cilantro off, because if you don't, man, he's like, he knows immediately, and he'll never say anything to somebody. Right?
So
he will never be that ugly.
Oh.
So the very last question I have, and this was 13 questions. Ghost story time. What's your best ghost story?
Funny or scary?
Your pick.
Let's see. We could do funny. No, that's just scary. I have so many. Let's think for a minute. Guys, watch my wheels turn. I've been doing like scary story videos, sharing things too. But let's see. Okay, let's go with funny. Yeah, because I got 2 funny ones that both involve my husband. So that, and I'll just put them together real quick. One happened not so long ago, within the last 6 months, and we were having activity in the house like we usually do, but we usually fill it out to see what we want to do, because I have, like I said, my boys' rooms completely bubbled. Nothing can go inside there, even if they're walking up and down the hallway. And I was in here. I was actually where I'm sitting now, and in front of me is the entry door to the house over there. And he walked in, and then he just started like swinging, like just punching the air. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, something just pushed me. It was the funniest thing ever. Oh, he's probably in there like, you're telling my story. He can hear me because he just started punching the air. He gets messed with a lot. He does. So he's gotten used to it through the years. And that was really funny. I mean, I laughed. I couldn't even get up and help him to go see where it went or what it was at the time, because I was too busy. I'm like, that's not going to work out. You can't fight him that way.
Spirit.
Went right through him. Another one happened at our old house, and we, down the street from our house, the old house that we had, which is just 5 minutes away, is an elderly community. And one of the spirits from there in a wheelchair decided to visit our house. And that was my son's senior year. And he was having a really hard time with spirits bugging him. That's when I had to get real hardcore with sheltering our house, because senior year, it's stressful enough. But this thing, we're watching TV. This thing wants his attention. He's like, and he had his ankle broken before. He has 2 screws in his ankle. This thing starts squeezing his ankle. So we're like, okay, we need to tend to this. We were bubbled so much we couldn't see really what was happening. And then the fan, I always have a tall fan because I'm always hot, got thrown at my son. So I text Wednesday from Graveyard Dirt Talk and was like, what do you see? She's always been able to tap into my house. And she told us about him. And then so I went and I got some stuff so I could tend to it. I made everybody who was in the living room stay. Because I bubbled the guy in here so I can get rid of him. I didn't want him running away. And I went and I got the stuff, and the bookshelf started shaking, and my husband was just like, what's going on? And he was just kind of freaking out. But because my husband was freaking out, and I was concerned about him freaking out, and then the fan had gotten thrown at my son, my bubble wasn't as strong as it should have been. And the old fucker started going out. We seen him go out the door. And this is where everybody could see, because you could see the doors opening. And we look outside, and my son sees this old fucker just in his wheelchair going back down to the elderly community. I'm like, you fucker. Damn it, you got out. One got away. That was just a couple years ago, like 4 years ago, I think, 5 years ago, maybe. His senior year. That's when that happened. But
yeah.
it was kind of fun. I don't know what he wanted. He was just an angry, mean old fuck. That's all I could say. Because he was just after my son for whatever reason. And I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it.
Well, no. Hell no. So you need to go.
But I mean, I have so many stories that I could probably like write a book of stories. Get my son to sit down and tell some stories too, because he's the littler ones. They haven't really had much. Recently, my 16-year-old has been, because I've been kind of opening him up to it. He's never really showed an interest because he was the one that was Christian, but he's kind of left that and has more curiosity over here, you know. He's been having some things go on with him when he's out in the garage or out in the yard and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We all have stories. We should sit down and have family story night on YouTube.
Wouldn't that be fun? I'd so tune into that. Well, those were all the questions I have. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything that you want to add? I mean, I want to be respectful of your time. I know that it's, you know, you have just come home from work. Your family's already having dinner without you. So I want to be respectful of that.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know. We've done so many of these chats recently. I don't know that I have it. I'm trying to rack my mind of videos to do on my own channel. So I had people leave a lot of comments of things that they wanted me to do, and most of them are like herb videos. So I'm going to try to get on that as much as I can. I don't know what else I can share. I think I'm completely boring. So I don't even know why people watch. I always say that, like, what do you want to see? I have no idea what to talk about.
The first one I saw of you, I'm trying to think what you were doing. Chicken feet.
With Trina, or when she was gone?
No, I think Trina had come to visit, and y'all were, because you made black ones, you made purple ones. And I remember watching that, and that's where I thought that you must be a root worker, because that's the first thing I saw.
Yeah.
And that for me goes into root working Santeria, you know, because I'm from Louisiana originally. So, but I love those videos. I love watching where you make things and where you create stuff. I'd love to see you do a video on Florida water. I don't know if you make your own or not.
I do. It's not the same, and I don't think it would be called Florida water. And I've thought about sharing it before. I know I shared my tobacco water. Yeah, I guess I just need to get into, like, what do I use and start sharing how to make them. What it is that I'm using. But I thought I shared everything. But I make videos whenever I need to make something, and I don't like to make it in bulk and just have it put away just to make a video. You know, I'm making this because this is what I'm doing today, so I need it.
Right. That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Well, good. Well, I love your channel. I love watching it. I love just sitting back and feeling like I'm hanging out with you. But I am going to have to ask you one favor, and that is, please don't have any more fun things with other witches when I can't come.
Sorry. It's like an idea goes, and there's an idea in one head, and then it just spreads, and then it's a whole thing.
Well, I'll tell y'all what. From where I live to where you are, it's a $90 plane flight.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So I will crash your party in a heartbeat.
That door is always open. And
well, thank you. Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed having this chance just to sit down and chat with you. And people who are watching, Witchy Women Wednesday will not be Ember and I. I'm going to see if I can find another guest. Ember is off YouTube for a little bit. So she put out a note for it. So it's all good. But she needs to take another break. So I need to find some more people to yap at. So I think I'm going to go after Ravenflower next.
Oh, you should.
She's so fun.
Yeah, I can give you a list of witches to go after right now.
Send it to me, baby.
You can message them and say, yep, I told them.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched and who's going to watch it on the replay, because I will put it up so that we'll have you can have a chance to see it again. And if you're not subscribed to Lady GraveDancer, I don't know why not, because she's awesome. She has one of those channels that even if she doesn't put a video out for 6 months, you could still be watching her for that long if you start now. So
I have too many videos up, don't I?
No.
I'm gonna start vlogging again though. I get a lot of requests about my vlogging, so I'm gonna start picking up my camera and vlogging my boring daily life. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I need to get more stuff out there. I've been just doing teroscopes for so long with no more review videos and all of that, so I've got to get some more stuff going.
Don't stop the teroscopes, because some of us live by them.
Yesterday, they almost didn't happen because it was a long, hard day. That's
I haven't watched the current one, so I'm going to watch it tonight after we're done here. So,
what's your sign?
Capricorn.
Oh, that's why. My sister's a Capricorn.
That's why what?
You said a couple of things about how you like to have a lot of different things, and that kind of fed you. And she's the same way. So Capricorns like to do and be necessary.
Yes. It's true. I don't know what I'm going to do when my kids are all and have all their own lives. Because as it is, it's like my oldest is already doing his own thing, and then my 16-year-old's about to be 17, and he does his own thing, and then the youngest now has friends, and so now I'm just like, what do I do?
Well, next? By the time the youngest one is up and out, hopefully you'll have some grandbabies to play with.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and everybody seek joy, y'all.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.